that many photon cannons, I should expect maybe a sooner +1 attack upgrade, and in that case go armor instead of attack first. Um, but like I said, Zerg, it's always important to scout all the time with Zerg, but when you're doing this strategy, even more so. I'm getting a lot of weird gaseous, like, burps and hiccups going on right now. I don't know what that's about. Sorry if I just grossed you out right there, but you can see that I'm even ahead in drone count. I don't think, let's go to the production tab, I'm just now making at 6:20 minutes into the game. That's a lot of minutes. 6 minutes and 20 seconds into the game. Um, I'm just now making my first roach. It's just now popping. And just notice that I'm completely safe. I mean, this is, in most PvZ, you're gonna see that you have a lot more time than you think to build up on just drones. But when you tend to fast expand, you feel a little bit more spread out, which you are, and you feel a little bit more vulnerable, which you are, and that plays a lot into the psychological part of the game. And maybe you won't get as good as an economy as you want. Things like that, you won't be able to drone up as much, obviously, and that's where it plays in a lot. This is where the strategy really excels in getting you that economy and making you build just the right number of roaches or any sort of unit. And that's what I love about the strategy so much. That said, you still have to scout and see what's going on in your opponent. You can't just make a bunch of drones and be like, oh, I'm fine, and then 10 zealots come into your base. It doesn't work that way. But, oh, it looks like I still went for attack first. I guess my reasoning for this is, if I can just kill his units before they kill mine, I'll be good. And that's sounds really simple, but some people just overanalyze StarCraft 2 a lot, and when it comes down to it, it's a lot of common sense that plays into it. But yeah, I think if you want to go more of a micro-esque and pulling back and kiting type of gameplay, then go for the armor. If you want to go for more of a positioning and roar, I have more units than you type of play, then go for the +1. And I'm tending to use the blar, I have more units than you in this 2 hatch before expand. And notice I'm even pulling ahead of him in units at this point, even though he's going 4-gate. And once again, he's throwing down that robotics facility, which is actually good for us, believe it or not, because that means less warp gate units, less units going to be on the field, and a slower rebuild time of his army. Whereas you'll see later on, we will have a tremendous rate of rebuilding. I'm just going to show you all the extra larvae I have right now. I have about 8 extra larvae. And that's obviously not from macro management, because we can see that my minerals have been low this whole game. I'm even high. I have more drones than him at this point, which normally you don't see. This is around the same time that I paused last game, I do believe, yeah. And a little thing that I want to point out, if you're getting a little high on gas, don't worry too much. You're going to need it later for all the roaches that you're going to be massing. Or if I keep saying that you're going to be massing a lot of roaches, but this is just that's just the unit that I've been experimenting with. Gonna take a little sidetrack here. If you're too worried about things like void rays, maybe phoenix harass, I tend to get more queens. Maybe I have 5 or 6 queens. I love queens. Spread tumors, transfuse, great, great, great. But some people they don't dig that so much. So maybe you can just get about this number of roaches and then tech and get hydras and then feel comfortable. Don't have to worry about void rays. Maybe even throw a spore crawler down or 2. But like I said earlier, everything is solved by just scouting, just being good at scouting, just keeping that up. And yeah, that's what I had to say, I guess. But like I said, later in the game we're going to see that he's not going to have as many warp gates, but we're going to have a ton of larvae saved up from all of these bases, all these extra bases. We don't need to spend all of them on the couple drones that we've just been waiting for 2 minutes, just spamming SD, SD, SD. We don't have this kind of franticness, which is nice. As you're normally all over the place. Oh, I gotta spit larva. I gotta use these. Just wait so long to get this one drone out. But now it's like you kind of relax. Like, oh, hey, I could get used to this. I got a lot of time to decide. Just gonna be splitting my drones up here, and right when you secure this expansion, it would be a good idea just to go ahead and go for the third, just because how easily you can pump out drones and units. If he were to attack right now, honestly, I think I would just be a-okay with the kind of reactionary kind of timing I can get in just pumping out roaches. Actually, I don't think I'm scouting quite well enough. I have been poking in and out with my overlord, but I really need to get that, I need to get layer down, maybe send a drone or two over, see what's going on, see his composition, get overlord upgrade for speed. I think I already said that, and just scout around. But as you notice, I'm still ahead of him in drone count, which is great. You always want to be ahead of your opponent, no matter what race you play, in harvester count. It just tends to be that it's harder for Zerg to do so because of the fact that they use larva for both droning and pumping units. So I say that all the time, but it's just really important. Looks like I'm gonna be breaking down these rocks pretty soon, I think. Okay, maybe not, just dancing around a little bit. Get in a good position. I do have +1 attack, I do believe. I should be getting, yep, okay, I'm getting +2 attack. And around this time I should saturate fully both of my Evos, extractors, excuse me, and throw down another Evo. And yeah, a third extractor, maybe even a fourth, is definitely a good decision at this point. Looks like we're going to get a good timing push from him. Let's see, does he have any sort of upgrades? No, he doesn't have an upgrade, which would definitely be a good idea for him at this point. Let me say something really quick before we go into this battle. It's actually pretty important if your opponent is going to be going a sentry heavy composition, which is great against roaches, great against splitting them up with their short range, even though it's still range 4. It's great against making roaches very inefficient. So what you want to do is you want to get burrow and you want to get tunneling claws. But in this game, I had sworn that I queued it up, but it turns out that I didn't. So I won't have that on. I won't have that till later on, but definitely even before that, you want to get roach speed. So we're just going to see the raw massing power that is this two-hatch strategy. And you can see that he used his force fields very well. He split up my army right there, and he split it up again. And what you want to do, you definitely want to focus these immortals, which are going to be so pesky for you. Looks pretty bad for me, to be honest. But that +1 upgrade is just so key. As soon as I saw this army coming, I just massed roaches, bringing all the extra queens I have, and I'm just using transfuse to take out the dying roaches. And in a heartbeat, it looks like the tides have turned, and it's just looking great for me. Speed has finished. I'm going to be picking off these units, going back, throwing down a hatchery pretty soon here, and I'm just going to be peachy keen. I'm going to take a little poke up here, see what's going on. See, okay, he's a good amount of stalkers. He hasn't produced anything else yet. He has his expo up. I don't know how saturated it is. I checked for another expo because earlier with my overlord I saw these rocks go down. And I'm feeling pretty good. Right after that, boom, just pump a bunch of drones. Right after you win a battle, every time what you want to do is punch a bunch of drones. No, that's terrible. You want to produce a bunch of drones. I don't even know what I was trying to say there. Maybe pump. Yeah, pump a bunch of drones. But you can see I've just been on my macro game this whole time. Try to keep your minerals low. Try to keep them under 500. That's definitely what you want to do. And meanwhile, he has been doing the same, but he's cheating because he's Protoss and he has a lot of warp gates. Actually, he only has 4. because like I said earlier, I want to go along with this whole small warp gate number thing. It does constrict their number of warp gates because obviously stalkers and zealots aren't the best against roaches. They want to get a lot of immortals, which obviously are gas heavy. Ugh. They're very time consuming to make, almost a minute long. 250 minerals, certainly not ideal. That's gonna mean a lot of less warp gate units. I'm putting up my third expansion. I'm feeling good. I've got burrow, and at this point I'm like, okay, let's move. Okay, let's move. What's going on? And then I realize I don't have tunneling claws, and I think it's around this time that I do get them. Come on, let's go memory. Is this when it happens? And oh, we'll see it later. But yep, I'm just massing up roaches. Feeling pretty good here. And oh, it's bothering me. Why are I not getting tunneling claws? He put a little bit of a pylon right there. Good idea. Good idea to scout, and you can warp in a couple of units, which he does do later. I think I just got a Facebook message. My apologies. And I'm getting that little tickle in my throat when you haven't had something to drink in a long time. So excuse me if I do a lot of lip smacking or something of that sort. And now you guys are probably going to be noticing it now more than ever that I mentioned it. But I didn't want to see all of my roach numbers, so I only brought a couple. You see that he did warp in about 4 zealots, and I'm like, hey, how'd those zealots get in there so quickly? So I'm gonna be like, wait a second, I should probably check this out. And I go there with my overlord, and then I send some roaches to dispatch of that. But notice, he is not building air or anything. He's not going for a bunch of void rays or carriers or anything. He has been constricted to this kind of 4 gate slash, well, X number of gate robo facility play, because once you start getting into the strategy, it's really hard to tech out of it. It's very consuming as far as resources go, and that's what's really great about massing roaches in this kind of idea. And I do throw down an infestation pit. I want to get more upgrades still to kind of burn off these minerals. You're going to see that my resources are going to be really high, and it's going to be hard for me actually to use all of them. And right here, we're going to see me burrow. And my tunneling claws is still, this is where I realize I'm like, oh wow, I really need to get tunneling claws. I'm able to escape burrow, very important to avoid those nasty force fields, obviously. So I'm gonna be poking up here, seeing what's going on. He has a pretty good composition, but my roach number is off the charts. Let's go see. I'm at 58 roaches. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. And he has pulled ahead a little bit in the harvester count. But actually I'm on 3 base, so I'm definitely gonna get more income. Yep, I'm at